We're on.
This is flash as fuck. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
All right.
What do these do?
Stop. Don't touch it. Don't touch this.
Don't
Okay.
touch.
Welcome back. Episode 15, Spark Your Interest podcast. This one is very different. If you are watching, if you're listening, probably sounds way better. We've got a proper podcast set up, courtesy of
Scrambled Heads FM.
Oh, yeah.
the Scrambled Heads boys from their podcast. They've lent us this for a couple of episodes just to try it out and see if I'm going to go and splash a heap of cash and buy the same setup. So today, joined with 40, Sam, and Caz, who is our office. What do you call yourself? What's your
Queen of the Office.
yeah? More.
That's the official title.
I believe the official title is Office Administrator.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to say manager. So that's all right.
Okay.
Talk yourself down.
You should have said manager.
I will. Well, I will
You-
now.
you-
Said manager.
Okay, so for the people, this
Hello.
is new. So you need to be. This is what I got told. You put one hand
Can I hold
in
it?
front of the mic.
Like this.
You can hold it.
Yeah,
I don't-
great.
And then so as long as you're that close. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
That good. All right.
Sweet.
Okay. So this week
Can
we're
you put
gonna
your hand over there because I'm going to push those buttons.
don't push these buttons because you don't know what they do.
No.
This week
That's bad.
So bad.
That's bad.
the boys back in town. No, this is all the Scrambled Head stuff. So there's some pretty weird shit on here. So we're not going to push the buttons.
Okay.
This week we're going to be talking about admin, when to hire, what you do, because I had a few messages from people saying they want to go that way and the size they're at, and they don't know whether it's the right time or whatever. So we're just going to talk about how you started with us and everything like that. But first, we've got a special shout out for the sponsor this week. It looks that good.
I would never come to something and not bring food.
Yeah.
Ash from Platter Me Beautiful has sponsored the podcast this week. It is the most
thing is
beautiful,
mental.
fresh, delicious
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna destroy
platter
it.
full of meats and cheeses,
What I'm gonna do-
fresh fruit.
We'll put some photos up. There's going to be probably heaps of chewing and
Crunching.
No, it's good because you
Crunchy.
can sit back from the microphone. I'm having one of those straight off the back.
yeah.
So the
we'll make
best
sure we sit back when we crunch.
crunch away.
I'll show it to the camera.
The best part about Ash is that she uses local produce, she supports local businesses, she creates these beautiful platters, she does events, so it's Christmas party season, it's corporate gift time. Every year we send platters to clients, builders, people we have worked with over the past year to say thank you and to wish them all the best for the holidays. So it's a really great idea. 40 will put her details up on online so you can see them.
In the show notes.
In the show notes. And get in touch with Ash. She books out because she's so popular, so get in touch with her now and book your corporate gifts or your Christmas party or your wedding or your...
Just any
I
event.
bought these for a weekend, by
Yeah.
the way. They're sick.
Oh,
Mate,
yeah,
I'm
they're
just gonna
so good.
I might get them every podcast.
I think that's a great idea.
No, I'm
Yeah, I
coming
think we should
every
just get them
weekend.
every day.
No, that's what we come under is that thing of giving these to clients and stuff, and I guess comes sort of into like what you do because it's probably not something that me and Jared did before you started. Gift people or just do those nice sort of things for people. So
Look, it's just that little bit of extra care that shows clients that you really value them. And it's also a really nice way for people to celebrate at the end of the year. Coming together and sharing food is, the best part about Christmas. So I think it's just a really nice way to end the year for your clients as well. So yeah, it's my favourite thing to do.
I think it comes into what we've talked about before, though, as well as it's like part of the customer service we provide. It's a higher level of customer service that we now provide that puts us above the rest, right?
yeah, we might just give
Exactly.
everyone a platter.
Yeah,
Every client.
Everyone
That was
gets a
a-
platter.
You get
Wasn't
a
that
platter.
a-
You
say
get a
that?
platter.
Wasn't that something once?
Yeah, I think it was. That was yeah.
Yeah,
If
but that nearly did happen.
It's probably best for the bottom line that it didn't, but I think that at this time of the year, it's just it's nice to put the wheels in motion and get yourself sorted around now for Christmas because leading up to Christmas, as everybody knows, you're always super under the pump. and sometimes it can be, the last thing that you think about. So get onto it now, which is
So apologies in advance for all the crunching, chewing, and
chewing, mushing.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. This is delicious.
That's actually such a good cheese.
The cheese is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
So while
Right,
I
hang
eat,
on, I'm gonna kick it off because I'm gonna ask you, because normally we do what have you been doing this week.
Yeah.
So let's start with what have you been doing this week.
what have I been doing
What
this
have you
week?
been doing this week to kick us off?
I got blisters on my hands. That's
Oh,
how hard I've
dear.
been
Oh, he's
working.
been on the tools.
I had to go home and have a freaking shower, mate, because I was that dirty. Been under the
Yeah,
floor.
some of us couldn't make it home for a shower
Yeah.
before the podcast. I'd just like to point out.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Because we've been
I could
working that
smell
hard.
something. If only. Lucky there's no
Smell-o-vision.
smell on podcasts because yeah, stink, bro.
Sam stinks. Oh, maybe it's either the cheese or Sam.
I can't tell the difference. I've been on the big commercial job we're doing. We're pulling in mains and doing heaps of stuff there. So we've been under the floor and it's been so fun and getting in there with the guys doing that. So definitely kind of regretting saying I would do that because I feel a bit sore. I need to. It's actually way. It was a harder job than I thought it was going to be. I'll say that. So props to everyone on site this week because everyone's ripped in there. Other than that, all of us in the office been head stuck into a massive quote that we've had 4 days. We got sent it very late, a month after everyone else, and we've managed to turn around a. Wow. Okay.
I just
Just-
That's why you can't be trusted.
What have you
with
done?
the
What have you
expensive
done?
Equipment.
Cancel.
don't eat cheese while trying to do a podcast.
Ah.
Because you'll drop it on the desk.
So we managed to turn it. We managed to turn that around in 4 days.
Which was such a solid effort.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's like a
worked together so well.
nearly multi-million-dollar quote. So
Yeah.
pretty big. I think the builder was pretty impressed that we got that done. So could be completely wrong, but who knows? It was good though. It was a good effort trying to get that done. So that was my weekend, everything. So what about you?
No,
mate?
Kaz, go next.
Kaz?
I'm eating
Oh,
cheese.
you got something special to say, do you?
Me?
Okay. No, Kaz.
Oh, Sam's saving the best for
I
last.
don't have anything special to say. I've never anything to say.
Well, this week we've just been chipping away at organising the boys for the forthcoming few weeks. We've got a few busy weeks coming up. We've got lots of ongoing projects that are kind of in a very busy stage at the moment. So I think our biggest challenge in the office this week has been just getting the schedule right and making sure that we've got the right teams going to the right jobs and just making sure that everybody's well supported.
Yeah, scheduling has definitely been a thing this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a challenge, just because a lot of things are kind of all happening at once. But it all works out in the end, and we've got a pretty big workload over the next couple of weeks.
I think I said it before. Do you reckon scheduling's like your worst thing? You hate it?
I used to really hate it, but now I feel like I like to be the only one who does it, because it's kind of like one of those things where you can't have too many fingers in the pie. It has to just be, you just have to have like a bit of a master of scheduling.
Oh, master.
The master.
Yeah,
That
I'm going
should
to add
be
that to
your
my
role,
resume as well.
Master of
Yeah.
scheduling.
Master.
Put that down. Put that down.
I
Absolutely.
hate it because I try and keep everyone happy. So I guess people are kind of will ring me and go, "Oh, I do this. Oh, yeah, I'll fit it in," and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Kaz, can we fit this in?"
Yeah, and
No.
I'll be like,
I'm
"Are
like,
you kidding me?"
when did you find out about that? I was like, oh, no, just
hour
now.
ago.
Just
you
now.
always lie and you say, "Oh, I told you about it last week," but
Yeah.
you actually didn't. But
Find me.
But yeah, no, it's definitely something that it's a bit of an acquired skill. But once you get the teams right, and once you know where the priorities lie in terms of how important certain works are to get done at certain times and things like that, you can
Prioritizing.
yeah, you have
And
to
then obviously
prioritize.
getting the right people on the right job, putting the right people together.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit involved in it, because I guess that's one thing, because we'll look at it and go, no, this person should go with this person, or they'll be better at it. So, I think you're slowly learning everyone's skills and downfalls, so you
Yeah.
know what the right people are to put on the right job and stuff like that.
Yeah, and who works well together in terms of certain strengths and like how people complement each other in a team. So
Yeah, nice. And
Well, I think it is important as well, though, like you said, and we've talked about it before, is like having that overall person that is involved, is the master of scheduling, because it means that one person has control over it rather than like us all dipping into it and mucking about with it all the time, because that's when problems occur. Because then like I'm changing it, you're changing it, EC's changing it, Jared's changing it, and it just fucks it basically.
and communication is key with everything, but especially with this as well. Communication with clients, not over-promising in terms of scheduling, always being realistic with scheduling, but also just future planning. And you guys are really good at that in terms of, planning projects, not just week by week, but if you plan your project out for the forthcoming months and you look at, look at the next quarter rather than the next month, in terms of when things are happening for certain projects, it makes scheduling a lot more, it just makes it flow a lot better.
Well, that's like our new thing that we've got, the
the Google
spreadsheet.
Sheets. Yeah, the Google. So we've started using Google Sheets more now to be a
like
live
a visual,
updated.
visual. So
It's
instead
also
we
a
use
live
Simpro.
updated thing that
We've
we
got
can use as
Simpro
well.
that obviously everything's actually scheduled into, and then the Google Sheets is more of like a
long-term projection.
yeah, like because we had whiteboards, so you could sort of visualize what we had coming up, but this is like it condensed into a spreadsheet, so you can see it, which has been working.
Yeah, like you said, it's a good visualization.
I don't know how to use it, but yeah,
it's a good visualization to see where stuff is happening.
But Sam does.
Sam does.
And Easty does.
The brains,
The
the brains of the
operation.
operation. Anyway, what have
I'm the brains
what
of
have
the
you been
operation,
doing,
we're
Sam?
in real trouble.
What have
I been doing? What haven't I been doing? Thank you. That feels good.
I've been waiting to
The
do that.
MVP.
What have I been doing? Actually, I've been doing Zetas this week.
Oh,
Zetas. My macro Zetas. Actually, we should put some photos up of the Zetas.
did you use my new cutout from 3D Pro?
I didn't. No, because honestly, it wasn't a scenario in which we could use
not to use it.
So it will be something that we will use. But no, we've been doing a local artist's house that's been good, that we've been having some interesting issues with. So I'll be dealing with that again tomorrow. And I've had a big switchboard upgrade done that I've been doing today, which is hence why I'm late, because we had to get the power back on in 2 properties this afternoon.
Well, there you go.
Huge.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, mate. Well
Thanks,
done.
That's a good thing. Thanks,
Well done.
Bow, maybe.
Yeah.
No?
Okay, so I guess a bit about you, Caz. Tell us a bit about yourself, what you do for us.
Sure. Well, gosh, I've been here now for over 2 years now, and my role at the business is very varied and changes a lot. I think it started as kind of like a bit of a support
Personal
role.
assistant.
Personal
Yeah.
assistant. A cat sitter. But
40 called me his PA the other day. I
40
just like to
called
say,
me his PA too.
40 called me his PA the other day, and I told
Everyone
him,
that
I
works
was
for
like,
me.
I don't
we take
remember
his
going for
PA
that
to
job.
no one wants that job.
My PA.
Yeah, no, thanks.
I can't believe it'd be that hard. I'm so organised
I
that
know.
it would just
you
be super
barely
easy.
even need one.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of like starts with, obviously there's the kind of pretty basic stuff of answering the emails and phone calls, but then it extends into a human resources type role with taking care of the employees. We have a number of apprentices, and there is a lot of paperwork to do with apprenticeships. Sometimes there could be staff management issues which have to be dealt with, although we're very lucky in this business, we don't really ever have anything negative in terms of staff. But then also there's our fleet of vehicles which need to be taken care of.
That's a full-time job.
That is a full-time job. There's
And the mechanic will
safety.
tell you the same thing.
I was at the mechanic today. They know me by name.
We have a car in the mechanic once a week,
Yeah.
if not 2,
They-
at the smash repairs because
Absolutely.
someone smashed it. Like that's nearly every week, or
Yeah.
at the mechanic.
Yeah. I'm at the level now where the smash repairer guy does me favors.
I'm pretty sure Jake is buying a house.
No, I was
Yeah.
because on the new education.
I was going to say when you get
The
when we
mechanic is
started
bawling
using
because
when
of
we
us.
started using them as a
I had a
mechanic.
new gold chain when I
Yeah.
went there last week, and I was like, dude,
So,
rushing.
yeah, he's in
it, let's
Italy
go.
at the moment.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
But
He bought a yacht.
Yeah. But it it's kind of like how long is a piece of string. There's always something different happening. There's always a new challenge. There's the account side of things as well, invoicing, payroll, which I help our accounts professionals with. Lots of different things. And then also I've learned so much. When I started with you guys, I didn't even know what a GPO was.
Question:
now I know.
Have I taught you anything?
About what?
Well, I guess we.
That's the best answer to a question.
Tell me everything you've learned
about
from me.
what? Yeah. Have you taught me anything about what?
Absolutely, of
Just
course.
life lessons, obviously. Apart from
Yeah.
that, you know,
Life lessons.
I've probably taught you a lot in regards to that.
Yeah,
you
how to
know.
be a
probably
great
shaped
man.
you into a great human. But aside from that,
Wow.
Absolutely. Oh,
This is
look,
what I do. This is
40.
what I
I'm
do.
the worst human for working here.
no, I've
40 just brought me on here to pump up his tires.
no.
These PA.
Yeah,
No, well, I mean, definitely the way that you guys run the business is the thing that I love about working here is that just the way that it grows and everybody grows with it. And I think that so much of what we've done over the past couple of years, moving from when I first started with the boys, they hired me out of Jared's garage. And I kind of got there and I was like, what am I getting myself into?
is that when Jared used to have his undies and washing hanging up in a washing line behind us? And
It's
sit in the
like,
shed?
oh, if you ever get hot, just jump in the pool. I was like, oh my God. But
The pool that always had
dog in it?
naked chicks out the backyard.
I never saw any naked chicks. I'm very
No,
disappointed
neither did
about
I. That never happened.
Never. I don't know what
When
you
they
are
got
talking
brought up the other day, I was
European
very
housemates.
disappointed that I never saw.
That was
I never
European.
got-
I
European
think
housemates.
it was an urban legend around Suffolk that's what happened at Bagger's house.
Look,
And
it
truth be
happened.
told, I never saw it.
Well,
Maybe I was there on the wrong days. But I think that the growth that the business is perpetually going through, and the way that the team has grown with it, and the way that the guys who worked for us when I first started, who are still with us, have grown into other roles which help prop up the management of the business. So I think that the way that we've created that kind of structure, when before there was obviously structure, but when you grow, the structure has to take on a completely different look. And I think that the way that you guys have handled that and the way that we've worked together to build that is pretty cool.
how many people were working for us when you started with us?
I think it was probably about 13 or 14 maybe.
Oh, that big. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, now from the perspective of now, it's small. Like we've got I think 15 cars now. Like it's
22 on the road.
yeah,
It is, I think.
yeah,
21.
right, yeah. So it's just like it's
22, yeah, guys on the road. They're like
Yeah.
tradesmen. And,
Yeah.
and
now
ladies.
we've got another lady in the office, Claire, who's been a wonderful addition to
Shout
the
out
team.
Kalia. I'll never forget you.
Kalia, who was another amazing admin person who worked in the office
So,
with me.
yeah, our second, yeah.
Yeah.
So
she
we
was
kind of,
awesome
we
as
haven't
well.
really gone through many people or anything like that. And I guess,
No, but that all comes down to hiring right in the first place. I
and
think-
hiring people, both those guys we've hired didn't have any background. I guess like you didn't have any background in electrical, but we hired people that we get along with and we
Yeah.
like fit in. It all
Yeah.
comes back to that same thing of the culture of people that fit in, and
Yeah.
then you can see. I think it's easier for them to learn as well if they do fit in. Don't you reckon?
I mean, everything else you can learn.
yeah.
But fitting into a certain dynamic, it's something that can't be learned. It's something that has to be natural.
Yeah.
And I think when you're all sitting in the office together for 8 hours a day, and you've got to be next to somebody and working with them, in sometimes really challenging situations, it's really important to make sure that you get that dynamic right in the first place, because especially when people are under pressure, you need to have people who can work really well together under pressure and stay calm to the best of their ability, but also just like gel with each other well. Everything else you can learn.
Yeah.
That's true.
You don't want
I
people to
agree.
be feuding internally and it's just going to
No.
cause you drama. Like, I might get along with someone, but then if you don't get along with them, I'm sitting down the other end of the office. I'm not dealing with it. You're the person that's... So that's why if we're hiring someone, we kind of always involve you as well. Like even with hiring, I guess, tradies and apprentices, we kind of
Yeah.
bring you in to that with us as well.
Yeah.
Hey? Like,
Yeah.
I think.
Because I mean, you know, like skills on a piece of paper is obviously like important and great, but you also have to be able to. There are so many skills that can't be learned from TAFE or from school.
You're looking at this concoction I'm making right now.
He's making a delicious looking snack. Oh, he's just shoved a cracker straight into the wheel of cheese. Are you going to eat that flour? It's edible.
I'm just putting everything on there.
It's an edible flour.
This is probably the best but the worst thing that could happen, because all I'm thinking about is just eating this food.
Oh no, you keep looking at it.
I keep staring at it.
That's literally what I've done the whole time.
I mean, it's very.
I'm so good. I keep looking at it going.
I had to stop myself because I don't want to drop more
and I've
cheese
just
on
figured
the
out.
mixing desk.
No, I just figured out. I can just.
It's like sitting with Rick Rubin over here as well, by the way. You keep turning shit up and down.
No.
And I'm like, what the fuck's going
Because
on
when
here?
I eat-
You're going to put a
Fat
Beatles
boy
song
When
on
I'm
and I'll
eating-
change it in a minute.
When I'm eating, I'm turning the volume down.
I think pretty sure I just burped a minute ago
You
and I
just
didn't
really
see it
shoved that
register,
in, didn't
so
you?
That's going to be interesting.
Did you just swallow that whole?
He's not breathing. It's fine. Someone call his PA.
Oh
Maybe they
shit!
can
Wait
help
a
him
minute.
out. I'll
That's
wait.
me.
I'm back, baby.
I don't know CPR.
Yeah.
That's my one skill that I don't have.
Don't say that. No,
Yeah.
I think that's like, when we're hiring, and then that's kind of the I guess that's across the board with everyone we hire that has to fit in, and you know, because at the end of the day, you've got to deal with all the people that work here as well. So if you same thing, staff issues with people that are, even though they're on the tools, you've still got to be dealing with them, because you do a lot of, would you say babysitting? Would you say
For
babysitting?
want of a better word,
A mum at home, mum at work.
a mum at home, a mum at work. I think that you know, it's important to remember if you have apprentices, and that's not to say that it's just the apprentices. Maybe it's a without, you know, ruffling any feathers. Maybe it's a male thing. I'm not sure. But
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Controversial. But I think that it's important to remember when you have apprentices that that they're learning and that you're responsible for how well they do. An apprentice is a direct reflection on the tradespeople who work with them. So I think that it's really important to provide them with a very supportive environment.
I think with the younger, we've only got one young apprentice, a couple of guys that are sort of younger, but that might be their first job as well. So they haven't, that might be their first experience of the real world, is a real job, you know, and it's hard enough.
Yep.
So I guess you got to think about that as well.
Yeah, and you know, when they acquire, you know, a basic skill set, it can be easy sometimes to kind of overestimate their abilities, and then you kind of you forget that they're in the process of learning, and that everybody who's a tradesperson has gone through that process. So it's important to just kind of like look back on your own experience and think what it was like for you in your apprenticeship. And so I think that's something that we handle really well in the business. I think our apprentices are very happy in the workplace, and you know, they're not afraid to put their hand up and ask when they need something answered or when they don't know the answer for something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's got to be a pretty open space
yeah,
for them. And, you know, what are you? What's your role? You're HR.
HR, yes.
Yeah, self-appointed HR.
You're self-appointed. Well, nobody else was going to do it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I wanted to do it. I don't know. So if people do have a problem, how many HR issues have you had? Or you're not allowed to talk about it?
oh look,
They're mostly to do with you.
they're,
but we just don't
they're
tell you.
mostly complaints about you.
Oh, about me. I thought you
yeah.
meant. I thought you were complaining about
Oh,
yourself.
Well, it's
for
mostly
me,
about you
yeah.
tell
Yeah.
everyone that you're
Yeah.
their fucking PA. So then
So I've had a
It
lot of
offends
people
people.
wonder if they are your PA.
I've made several formal complaints about
Yeah, yeah.
it. That's fine.
I just put them under the rug.
You're all here. You're all getting paid. No, it's all part of the job title.
Look, I think too, as we branch out into the wonderful world of, you know, having female tradespeople as well, you know, that's for some businesses that's uncharted territory. And so I think that the way that we have handled it is, you know, we've handled it incredibly well. We're blessed that our female apprentice is a legend. And that she's incredibly talented at what she does, and she's a great learner, and she's a very dedicated woman to her craft. But it also, from a perspective of, you know, an industry that's quite male dominated, it does. There are kind of certain things that you don't really think about before you hire women in the workplace. And it's not just your workplace. It's you're taking your female apprentice onto other people's workplaces and work sites.
Yeah, that is a big thing as well, because no matter what policies we have in place, that's fine, but you're not sitting in an office you're going to a job site run by a builder that might not have the same values or same policies. We're pretty lucky. Like, all the guys we work for are like, you know, they're not old school.
No, that's
you know, I don't think that George has had that problem dealing with people like that, which has been really good. But I think places like Melbourne, Sydney would probably be a bit different. Like, it's obviously a small town here. It's not, you know, everyone's a bit more open-minded. But I don't know, in the cities you probably cop a bit more slack of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't. But still though, like, going to site, there is not many females in the trade. Like, I would not.
No,
I wouldn't be able to name
many.
many.
Female apprentice that works for another local company that we see around.
There's a couple here. I know Joshy Felton's got a female apprentice, and there's a couple others. But even just in regards, I know Verticon had a female apprentice on. I think she was an apprentice.
Balanced Earth had a female apprentice too.
So it's rare though. Like, you know, it's not every business. So it and you got to put that in. It's going to be like nerve-wracking for them still on site. So just even having someone to talk to about it is good.
It adds a whole different element to her employment experience and her apprenticeship experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, even when she's sitting in TAFE, like, there might, you know, it might just be that she's the only female in the class. But I think that she's handled it really well. But that, you know, that I wouldn't say it was an obstacle, but it was definitely something that made us kind of have to sit back and rethink, oh, okay, we haven't experienced this before, so like what are the things that we need to implement and put in place to make sure that she feels supported and you know, that she's having an equal experience to everybody else.
I think that's another thing as well, like going back to the apprenticeship thing, I think it's quite an important point that I think people forget the responsibility involved in having an apprentice and training an apprentice, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for that apprentice, but you're also responsible for like their training and like the tradesperson that they're going to become. And I think that's really important.
It's hard though, because it's hard when, okay, so say I look at it as when I was on the tools and I had people like Jakey and those guys under me, and I'm putting, it's my business, so I'm putting everything into them because I know it's benefiting the business. Whereas other people, if that work, we're lucky, like we've got a good crew that does care about that, but I see it in the light of like other companies maybe where someone will be getting trained by someone that doesn't really give a fuck about training them. You know what I mean? Like they don't care.
Exactly. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, like if you're shit, you're shit. It doesn't affect them. They're just going to work. Yeah. So I think we're lucky where, you know, we've instilled that into people where, like, you know, the better the apprentice is, the easier your day is going to be. So the more effort you put in, that's actually is benefiting you because it's making the job go quicker and everything runs smoother. So
but you're responsible
and you get
for
something
their
out of it,
success
and you
as
get
well.
something out of it as well. Like there's nothing better than being like, yeah, I trained them, and if when they turn out to be really good, they win Apprentice of the Year.
Well, it's a reflection on you.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a reflection on them. It's a reflection on how well they've been taught. And, you know, obviously there's an element of responsibility for the apprentice to, you know, to learn and to study and to take things, you know, in terms of responsibility on. Yeah. But the success of an apprentice is a direct reflection of the business. And so I feel like, you know, our apprentices, especially the guys who've just come out of their apprenticeships and become tradies, they're great tradies now. Yeah. And that's a testament to how well they've been nurtured.
Yeah, and I think even the guys that have come from other companies and worked for us say, like, how different it is and how much more they enjoy it because they are getting that, like, well, it's not just respect, but they're getting that level of care of getting trained, and it's like they see that we actually care about how they get trained, and like that's why we pull people in and go, mate, you're not doing good. Yeah. What's going on? What? This is where you need to be at. You're not there yet. What are we going to do to get you there? Like, we're not just letting you run and go, oh, he's a shit apprentice. As soon as he's a tradie, we'll just fire him, which is what the big companies are like. You know, as soon as they can get rid of you, they'll just get rid of you. But they're not putting the effort in to actually help you. Yeah. But we do.
Exactly, because we want to keep people.
Yeah.
You You know, you want to build your strong team, and you want people to hang around, and you don't want to, you know, take care of something and watch it grow and then lose it.
Oh, I want people to come here, and if someone comes and works for us for a bit and then goes and works somewhere else, whatever, I want them to see their time here as a time of growth and be like, I learn a lot when I work there. And whether it's procedures, whether it's safety, testing, whatever it is, dealing with clients, we put a lot of pressure on people to do that as well. Like whatever organisation, like whatever when they come here, I don't think anyone would walk away and not a better tradesman than they came here, or an apprentice or whatever, because I feel that way. Like, don't you reckon? Like how much, like even down to you learning or whoever it is. Like, mate, I'm still learning every day.
Because we put the time in to make sure that people understand that.
Yeah,
that people
Everybody's
have
still
that.
learning every day.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think it's a good point. So I think I reckon that's good. So that comes into the culture at the end of the day. Like that's what we've created, and that's how.
But I think that's also like businesses can't function without a good culture. Like they
No,
don't function well.
definitely.
If you work for a company that's got shit culture, you don't want to be there.
No.
No one wants to be there.
Nobody does.
Everyone fucking hates it. They're just turning up. The quality of work drops. The quality of interactions between yourselves, between your employees and clients drops. The whole thing just falls down.
Okay, so what to you? I was actually thinking about this the other day as a kind of a thing in a podcast. So, you know, everyone says, "Oh, we've got great culture because we do a barbecue every now and again, or we do this or we do that." Like, what to you is culture? What's good culture?
I think that the thing that I've noticed about this business and the way that we have kind of harvested the culture that we have here is that everybody who works for us feels as though they own part of the business. So it's like this real ownership, this real family, this real care that people, they really care about the business. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that you and Jared are such, you guys are really open in terms of approachability. Nobody's ever kind of like, even if there's an issue and somebody's fucked something up, or, you know, if there's a problem, it's always approached in a really controlled and constructive way.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever kind of like, you know, blasted without any kind of constructive criticism, and everything's resolved in a really good way. But also it's just, you know, people care about the business because it's such a great place to work. People want to be a part of it. The amount of emails I get on a weekly basis from people saying, I want to work for New Age. I've heard about you guys. I've seen you guys around. I really love the culture. I love what you guys stand for. It's just like everybody just wants to be a part of it because it's magnetic, because it's just this big family.
I think to me, culture over saying, oh yeah, I take my crew camping, or do this or do like the stuff we do is culture is people wanting to turn up every day and turning up like present and wanting to do the good work.
Yeah.
Because that's all culture is. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean, oh yeah, we have beers every Friday and then now we've got culture. That's not it. It's like if you've got people, you could do that and then people go, oh, fuck, I don't want to go to work today. I want to go to work today. I hate this. That's shit culture. But when everyone's coming and they actually want to be here, that's what it is to me, I feel. And that's what I think we've created. Like, I hope that's what I hear, and I hope that's what we have, like.
Yeah, I think it also boils down to what we've talked about before, in employing the right people in terms of the like-mindedness of everyone. Like, everyone here is on a similar sort of keel in that, like Caz said, there's a level of, you know, the business is very important to them. It's not just about work. It's about, this is an important thing across the board.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's mateship.
I think I've had a big epiphany with hiring as well, and it doesn't matter if someone's good, if the attitude's not there, or that I don't want to have someone that's got that relaxed attitude to, like, you know, good bloke, good whatever, but if your attitude, I want people that want to learn, you know, what we're talking about, the safety, the testing, like all that stuff, like people that actually enjoy it.
Well, skills can be taught. skills can be taught. Attitude is attitude.
Yeah.
Right? Like your attitude is something that I feel like attitude is not something that you're taught. Like you have interactions with people across your whole time of employment, and there are certain people that you see that attitude doesn't change.
Yeah.
Attitude is something that I feel like it's sort of almost...
It's innate.
Yeah,
It's
it's
I just
innate.
think even having people that, like, you know, we're in the Discord chat, like, all the people I see now, I'm like, fuck, these guys they love this. And I'm like, I'm sitting at home watching YouTube videos of Sparkies doing shit, and I'm like, that's the people you want to have working for you.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what
True
Easy
that.
does. You know what I mean? Like, that's what...
But
That's the
it's
people you want to have, like guys like
100%.
Jacko and everyone, like
Yeah.
that actually want to be here, and it's not just a job. It's
work-
like they
work
actually enjoy it.
ethic. Work ethic is not a skill.
No,
Work
it's
ethic
not.
is a value.
no, but taking
100%.
pride out of it and going, oh, I'm keen to do this today. Like I'm excited, and like that's why like guys like Kyle, who's a first year apprentice, and he'll come back here after work on the test board. He's testing, he's asking questions, and he's like, we're going to site, and I remember like he was like a few months in, and he was drawing diagrams of faults and like mapping
Yeah.
it all out, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
he
what
wants
the
to
fuck?
learn.
Like he enjoys it, like he really likes it.
Yeah.
I think that's like they're the right people to hire, and I think now that's a big thing for me to hire people that actually want to be like that. And it's, you know, it's so hard because you see someone, they come in and they're a really good person and stuff like that, but
Oh, it's very difficult skill
Yeah.
to find. I think it's a very difficult thing to find, and you can't find it off the back of... I think that's why it gets really difficult, because I don't think you can't find out that person is that way from seeing them for a week, because they don't... A lot of people don't really open up fully into, you know, showing you the person that they are until they've been working here for, I don't know, a month, 2 months.
But also, there are a few little tests that you can put them through before you even interview them. So a couple of little screening processes
Oh,
that,
what do you
that
have?
I've
What do you have?
always done. Well, first of all, it's obviously you judge them on their communication skills. So if somebody's getting their parent to call for them to ask if they can have an apprenticeship, or you know, if somebody's like,
can I just say,
Hope you
if
can have a
you
job.
are doing that, that's a complete no-no. And if you're ever going to do that
Yes.
for your kid, don't do that.
you might think that you're doing them a
That
favor.
is not.
But
That
you're
is
not.
like that's straight. If I get a resume and it's from not the person, it's going in the bin. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I feel. Because if your kid can't come in, you know what you do? Come in person and come and talk to us. And you know, we're not always hiring, so we might not be hiring. But I've got like, at the moment, I've got about 4 people. When we're ready to take on a first year again, I've got 4 people straight away that have had really good communication, constant messages, phone calls, chasing it up and stuff like that, coming into the shed. Like there's 4
Yes.
people that have stood out, but then there's people that whose parents have called and asked
But also
for a
don't
job.
push your kid into that.
Well, to me, it
The
just
kid
seems
doesn't.
like,
If the kid's not doing it, the kid doesn't want to do
yeah,
it.
that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what it,
Don't
yeah.
do it.
But,
Don't
you know,
don't
you're-
make those calls for that,
No.
because you're
Yeah.
just pushing them into something they don't want to do, and then we're going to have to deal with it because they're going to
because
not
they
want
don't
to be
want to do
here.
it. And you're not going to come to work and do it for your kid.
No.
So just make sure that it's something that they actually want to be doing every single day, because that's, you know, that's what happens when you have a job.
Yeah.
But also just initiating that that contact yourself. But also I always say, okay, call me back in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully. Yeah,
And if
put
they-
the ball in their court.
We
Yeah.
put the ball in their
Yeah,
court,
have
and
the
if
want
they
to do
want it, they
Yeah,
will
they'll keep
chase
doing
it.
it. Yeah.
And that's the way you can see if somebody's organised. Are they putting in their diary? Call Caroline back in a week. You know, are they keen? It's just it's a good barometer before you even get them in the door to have a chat, because you know a lot of people interview really well, and then you start them in a job and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? But there are certain little things that you can do to kind of test the water before you
Had one
even
of them
get to
before.
that point.
Actually, you know what? Fat Sam from that Electricians Weekly podcast, he has a good point about this. He has a whole thing about this, that he says that if you're applying for roles and you're looking for roles, don't just be fucking emailing your resume to people. You're calling people. You're calling people, and if you're not getting an answer straight away, you call them back. And you keep calling them.
Yeah, because
until
he
you talk
talks
to the
about it in
person
regards
that
to
you wanna talk
getting jobs.
Yeah.
And he's
But
like,
I
you
feel like
annoy,
it's the
you
same
annoy
thing.
people
You're not-
enough.
Like, honestly,
Yeah.
it's about making yourself so available and so like a thought at the
I'll tell you
forefront of
what,
people's existence.
that works. You know why? Nick Vincent. does that name ring a bell to you?
Yes, yes.
Nick Vincent, shout out. Are you still looking for a job?
Go on, Nick.
Come on, Nick. He didn't even live around here. He's from Melbourne.
No,
He
he
just
was
kept
from Melbourne.
calling. He
Yeah.
came on a holiday and popped in. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to come work for you
He
guys
came
one
and
day.
did
And
a trial. I
yeah,
think.
he just kept popping in and
Yeah.
in and
There you
out.
go.
He
Those are the
did. He
people.
did end up securing an apprenticeship because it just didn't work out in terms of timing
Yeah.
for us.
Come back, Nick.
But Nick, if you're listening, email me.
What did you just press?
I don't press anything. I just turn this off so I can eat this.
Oh,
Don't touch my buttons.
I
Don't
wanna
push my
touch your
buttons, mate.
I
Don't
haven't
push my
turned
buttons.
down my mic once, so people are probably hearing me chew.
I burped a minute ago.
Ew. Gross.
Just get it in there, mate. Well, your mic's not on, so no one can hear what you're saying.
Yeah, thank God. They can just hear us.
Maybe we'll just leave that off. Yeah.
But look, I think once you have the team, once you've got the right people in the door, that's when you look at building the culture.
I think, okay, so another thing which I've been asked by a few people is what stage is the right person to hire admin? When's the right time? I didn't realise we were that big when we hired you, and I think that's way too late. I think like 4 people, like 3 people.
Yeah.
If you're stressed, if you're running like a crew of 3 and you're stressed out trying to do on the tools, invoicing, everything like that, you got to pull someone in like a day, just get some invoicing done, train them up. I don't know. I feel like us waiting till, I think we were lucky because we pulled ourselves off the tools by that time, so we weren't on the tools.
Yeah.
And we were doing all that, but that's us sitting there answering the phone, answering emails, doing the invoicing.
I don't know how you did it, to be honest. I don't know how you guys were doing it. I mean, I think from memory, there was 13,000 emails in the inbox. Not unread, but there was a lot.
Unreplied.
just
and
40
they're
times.
all from Nick Vincent.
All wanting a job. All from people wanting jobs.
For old Nick.
You know, you can't do everything yourself. And it's just really important to the balls that you have to keep in the air. Your invoicing, your money coming in and out is incredibly important. Your safety, especially in our business, safety is not something that you can ever get lazy on, because it's a real problem, and a lot of people think that it's just something that's just a box to tick. It's not a box to tick. It's real.
Safety costs money as well.
Safety costs money.
You know,
safety
we got
costs time.
our thing back today for I think it's just a work cover.
Oh yes,
It's like
the
30
insurance.
30 grand a year or something.
30 grand a year. It's based on the size of your business, how many employees you have, your workers' compensation. There are huge expenses to do with insurance and safety, but
when you talk about that as well, that's the thing that people don't understand when you have a price as well, like talking about pricing wise, and people are like, oh, why you charge that much?
yeah,
That's 30 grand for workers' comp, plus public liability and everything else. It's like 100 grand a year for all our insurances and stuff,
exactly.
just to have people working for you. So
yeah.
you got to cover that off. And that's it. And are the people that you're using have that in place? Do people know? Because there's so many people that just start a business now. Do they have all that stuff? Is that even cross your mind?
But safety is also part of culture. It's showing people that work for you that you care about.
I know, that's the thing. We said safety costs money because it takes longer, and it's time off a job, really, isn't it? Like to be safe, because being unsafe is quicker. I guess you know what I mean. So that's our big thing with the lockout tag out that we're talking about now. It's like, it takes 2 minutes to do it. Like just do it, and that's our thing. Like, we're putting all these policies in place, and we're putting it in the hands of our guys and going, here you go. Here's everything you need.
Yeah.
We've told you what to do.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, that's on you, because we've told you what you need to do. We've told you the policies. I can't go there and hold people's hands and do it all. Like, we can only do what we can provide them with, and then that's where it ends.
Exactly. You can't micromanage it. You have to give people responsibility.
I think people just understand the dangers, how dangerous things are.
Yeah.
And sadly,
it's
people
underestimated.
don't realise that until something goes wrong.
That's it. Yeah.
Or someone gets hurt, someone dies. That's when they go, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is actually really bad.
Yeah.
I wish I had done those things.
I wish I had done something about it. Exactly. And I think that when things like that, touch wood, if things like that ever do happen, if you have the structure in place to be able to manage those situations, then you're covering yourself, you're covering the people that you work for, you're taking care of your business, and it shows the clients that you care about them having safe sites, safe homes.
Yeah.
I think it's like that thing. Like we did the audit and we scored 99.3%.
99%, baby.
99%, baby.
It was so good.
We're the best.
Yeah.
But
That
it's
was a lot of work.
It's that thing of like, well, yeah, we've got all that in place. That's maybe why you charge a bit more than the one man band that doesn't put edge protection up when he does the solar or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we're protecting the people that work for us, and it's that same thing of when you're a worker. Do you want to work for someone that actually cares about your safety and is putting these and spending the money on doing it? You could get away with it. We could turn around and not put any of those policies in place. You could get away with it. Some people would rather pay a fine than put edge protection up because it's cheap. I think the fine is the same price as getting edge protection up. It might even be $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
So they just don't even do it on a solar job. But then you're the worker. How do you feel about that?
Exactly. Yeah.
If your boss just doesn't care, it's the same amount of money. I don't care.
And it's not about money, it's about people's lives.
But it is to some.
It is to some,
Like
exactly.
I said, it costs money.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if it costs $1, some people won't want to do it.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
thankfully, those aren't the people that we're interacting with.
No, but it
Exactly.
is as well. Like we're quoting against those people, and it's like, oh, this guy's $5,000 cheaper. Why? Well, does he have all these policies in place? Do they do swims every day? Do they do take fives? Do they have all that stuff? Do they do toolboxes? Do they do this? Do they do that? Like, there's all the things that we do. Do they test the whole installation, which we just found on a job that they don't?
No,
You know,
no, but
the cheaper people doing it, it's going to cost you money in the long run.
exactly. You get what you pay for. It's it's like buying anything. If you put the money in and buy something that's high quality, you're not going to have to replace it as quickly. It's going to be more reliable. It's going to be something that you can use again and again. And this is why we get repeat business. This is why our business is built on reputation. We don't. If you are in touch with people after, say for example, if you lose a quote based on, price, and then you touch base with that person after the job's finished, if you touch base with that builder and you get feedback, how did that other electrician go? How did you find them? How did you like working with them? You put yourself back in. Can we quote the next job? You always put yourself back in it, because 9 times out of 10, when they choose the cheaper quote, they don't have a very good experience.
Yeah,
and
which has been proven so many times,
Yeah.
and we've had to go back and fix the issues that have been created by the person who was the cheaper quote.
You got to think
Yeah.
our overheads cover our admin, and at the end of the day, when you're dealing with a business, an admin is a big side of it. It's like I've heard from people that the smaller guys that send their invoices like 2 months later or something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
builders chase them for an invoice, where it's like if you call me and you want an invoice, like we can do it right there and then. Like whatever you need can be done.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I need that certificate. Oh yeah, I'll have to do it when I get home tonight or something. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's not the price difference. It's like at the end of the day, we know what our business costs to run, and that's what we charge. So a lot of people that we're probably pricing against don't actually know the back end of the business or their overheads. They don't have that. We have calculators that work all that out. We do it every 6 months. So we know what we need to charge.
Yeah.
And it's still not, it doesn't even cover, like we know that. Like the hourly rate doesn't cover that.
Yeah.
Like fully. So that's why, I don't know. It's a hard one to talk,
It's
like
a hard
to convince
balance to
people
strike.
about like, oh, I can get it done cheaper. It's like, you know what? Okay, well, you do that.
Yeah, you
and
might
then
be
you let
able
us know
to.
how that goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us
Yeah,
know how
100%.
it goes.
I'd be more. Yeah, knowing that what we're doing is the best thing. Let them do whatever they want at the end of the day. Let that person go and choose that cheaper person, because I know that chances are they're going to come to us in 6 months and go, yeah, well, I've had a real issue with this.
Yeah, you
person.
just got to remember
Come sort of-
it's a level of service that we provide with the
100%,
follow up.
and we've proved it so many times.
What we're dealing with now with that fault, and we're not charging this person to fix this fault because we found it and we want to help them out, and the person that's done it has charged them to look at it, and we're still there trying to fix it, and we're doing it for free.
And we've done that before.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time that we've done this. We're always the people, and it came to the discussion that you and I were having the other day about this exact issue, and that like if there is a problem that we're having and it's something that we don't know or something that we don't understand, we're not going to go there and try and get money from the client for not understanding why something's happening. We're going to go and we're going to work it out and we're going to fix it at our own cost, because that's what you do. That's what you do when
Exactly.
you provide a good service. You don't try and look at how you're going to squeeze every dollar out of every issue. Not that we're not in the business of making money. It's just that we want to make sure that, I don't know, I feel like the attitude across the board here, and it's the attitude that I have, and I know it's the attitude that most of the guys have, is that when I go into someone's house, I treat that house like my house. I don't treat it like, oh, that's someone that I don't know, and therefore I don't care. I treat that like I'm at my house. And
We
I'm
treat
doing
it like
work at
how
my
you would
house.
want a tradie to treat you.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you walk away and go, oh, I wouldn't be happy with that service, then that person's probably not going to be happy with that service either. And I can't speak for everyone that works for us in regards to that. At the end of the day, I'm not doing the work anymore. But I know when I did do the work, I'd go above and beyond for every single person that worked for us. Doesn't matter if I'd had a falling out with them over something, I'll still provide the same service to every person, because to me, that's what I say, reputation is everything. So you going above and beyond for someone is your reputation. And that's what we were built on. That's how we got to where we were. Because when I was on the tools, I was doing that. If someone called me up, goes, I need this done, I'd stay out till late doing it, or Saturdays, Sundays, whatever. I did it for someone that we'd been working for on Monday. I said I'd be there Sunday. I couldn't end up making it there Sunday. I made sure I got there Monday. They had an Airbnb coming in. Quick, easy job, sorted them out, done.
Well, I think in such a small community, it's just, even if you
Yeah,
are focused on making money, the most important thing to remember is that whether you make your money today or in a year, if you build a good reputation and if you go above and beyond for people, you might not be getting paid for the job that you're doing for them today, but they, in a year's time, might build a new house or renovate a house. And who's the first person that's going to pop into their mind is the guys that helped them out. You know what I mean?
Or just talking to someone else. And
Exactly. Just that reputation, that honesty, helping people when they need help. It's just, that's not, our culture is not just within the business. Our culture also seeps out into the community. And I think that's why people come to us, because they know what they're going to get. They know that they're going to get people who aren't going to pull the wool over their eyes. They're not going to have unsafe practices. They're not going to, even if price, even if it's not the cheapest price, that you're getting the best quality product for it. So
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I guess that comes down to the other thing, which is the thing I hate the most, customer disputes, which is good. You're good at it. I
takes
suck
them
at it. I hate
first,
it.
you know.
Oh, I hate it. And it happens a lot. It does happen a lot. And it always comes down to people. It's always someone that's not going to pay. And I feel like we know now.
we know. It even
When we
happens.
start the job, I just go, this person ain't going to pay.
Yep.
They're not going to want to pay.
They're not going to want to pay.
And we've
or
had
they're
it a
not
few
gonna be happy.
times where we know and say, this person's not going to pay. It always starts with a questioning something stupid, or, oh no, I didn't get that invoice, and then
Yes,
it just
my
drags
emails
out.
didn't work.
Yeah. Oh. But and then I'm me and Jared are saying we kind of fire up. I'm like, fuck, let me at him. Where is
Which is
like
the
you know what I
worst
mean?
way to handle it.
But, at least you keep a level head, and there'd be a lot of people without power if me and Jared were going around collecting debts, because we'd be pulling everyone's fuses that didn't pay our bills, and we'd probably never get the money. But at least you kind of you managed to extort it out of them in the end. I don't think we haven't had anyone that hasn't paid. So
Look, I think that old saying that the customer is always right, I don't agree with. The customer is not always right, but there is always a way that you can make it right with the customer. So you always have to work together.
you've got to put ego aside sometimes. And
Yeah, definitely.
What
But
else?
also you've got to see it from their perspective. Some people are irrational, and you find it very difficult to see it from their perspective. But also, everybody's got something going on. They might just be having a really bad day and they take it out on you, or they might be having money issues, or they might feel like that they don't agree with something that we've done. But I think the most important thing is to just let people be heard. They just want to be
And
heard.
we are fair with it as well. If someone
Absolutely.
comes to us with something like, oh, I don't reckon that's a fair, because at the end of the day, we've got 20 guys out, we're billing out what they tell us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if someone comes back and goes, nah, they were only there for 2 hours, we're going off what's been put down. Sometimes we'll call someone and go, oh, the customer only reckons you were there for 2 hours, and they go, oh yeah, nah, I read it down wrong. You know what I mean? And that's a fair mistake. But then for someone to blow up over that, end of the day, everyone's human. We're going off what they put in their job cards, and that's what we bill out. because
Yeah.
we're not the person on site.
Yeah.
So, and that's what people need to remember as well. So if you do have an issue with a tradie and you don't think it's fair, have a conversation in a level-headed way, because it actually could be an honest mistake.
Exactly. It might even just be like literally like a typo or something. Like
And like even like what we have, sometimes we have stuff upload into our Simpro wrong, and like a sticker conduit goes out at like $600 or something. I think that's happened to someone before.
Yeah.
And then you guys don't know the pricing of everything, so
I
you
don't
kind
even know what a sticker conduit is.
you kind of just send you think it's all good, you send it out,
Apparently there's
and
$600.
someone goes, "Oh, this seems a bit expensive for what we did."
Yeah.
And then we look at it and go, "Yeah, that's
you're
wrong.
right, it's the
It's
wrong
come through wrong."
price.
So it's like a computer error, but we've charged it out. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, that's where it gets hard with that. But as long as someone's honest about it and talks about it, because otherwise that person can go, "Fuck these guys, they rip me off."
It's all about the way that you handle it.
Yeah.
We've had heaps of times where we've had situations like that and we've resolved it in a positive way for the client and for ourselves, and then they've come back and used us again because they know that they're going to get an honest experience. And you know what, like, mistakes can happen in the business, you know, especially when there's multiple people sending out invoices and things like that. But it's the way that you handle the situations is just so important.
Yeah.
It's so important to stay calm.
But on the same frame, also don't be a dog.
Don't go leave a 1-star
Don't be a
review.
dog.
No, but if you
Don't
if
you
you're-
give me a 1-star review, you will fucking hear
Yeah,
it.
seriously, if you want work done at your house,
Oh,
expect
yeah.
that it's going to cost you money. Don't
That
fucking
too.
expect that someone's going to turn up and work for free at your house.
You
gotta
know
go
what?
there
And
at
if you're
the
worried
same
about that,
time.
maybe
It's not
ask the
1992.
question- No, but ask the question. If you're concerned about the price of the work that's being undertaken, ask the fucking question. Don't expect that they're just going to turn around and like, we're not just pulling like figures out of thin air. It's priced based on an hourly rate for someone plus materials. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And we don't just pull
and we
that out of
charge a
thin air.
service fee, because
Yeah.
if you're going a 1-hour job, you got to remember we're driving from somewhere, we're going to that job, and then we're driving somewhere else. So you might only be on site for an hour, but it's actually like nearly 2 hours of someone's day. So that's why we charge an extra, I think it's like an extra $20 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to cover, like, you know, I mean, it doesn't even cover what it should, but
Yeah.
it's covering admin, it's covering fuel, it's covering time.
Yeah. So we do an hour-long job, and that plus that person's overhead, what it costs us, then the time to send the invoice, do the back end, do a CCW, all that stuff costs, like, it's not an hour-long job isn't worth it for us. So us charging a service fee, but then if someone complains about that, you know, that's if you're not happy to pay $150 for a small job, then maybe you need to have that conversation before someone turns up. It's like you said, it's not 1980 where someone rock up to your house for $50 and put a PowerPoint in. Like, people aren't getting out of bed for that. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just maybe save a few things up and get a few things. I don't know.
Or
Like,
if you have a budget, like, you know,
Yeah,
just
be
let
up-
us know
upfront.
and say this is what my budget is, and so then we can prioritize.
or
okay,
get Caz on a good day and she'll give it away for free. Just give her a sub story on the phone. If you give Caz a sub story, we've got a policy.
I
She's
am a
allowed to give away
sucker for a
one
sub
free
story.
job a week to
no, I
people.
think it's a month.
A month? No, we'll give it a week. We'll give one a week. One free little job a week because she feels sorry for people. So if you're over 60, she classes you as old.
Or
and she
just
feels
ring up
and she feels
pretend
sorry.
like you're old,
she
or
feels
there's
sorry for
something
you.
wrong with you, and then just keep pushing and
This
saying,
poor old man, he lives in this house on the beach and everything's rusted and corroded because he's so close to the water and we really need to help him out. He doesn't want to pay.
That is not true.
I reckon.
he's got to get his Ferrari.
You send me to
serviced
go
I
to
like to help
like a job,
people.
a call out to help someone out. Oh, he's old, man. He's really old and he really appreciate it. We're going to go do it for you. And I'll rock up and he's in a Bentley out the front of his house.
Yeah, he lives on a
He
fucking
duped me on the phone.
20-bedroom mansion on the beach.
No, I think that's all part of the community experience. I think that, you know, when especially when the floods happened and, you know, our boys got out there and did so much work for everybody in the community, I think that was just a testament to how much we care about the people who need a little bit of extra help. And yes, I am a sucker for somebody who needs a little helping hand, and sometimes I make
my
little
legs
deals.
hurt.
Make little deals with people who perhaps are doing it tough and who, you know, like need, you know, if it's an old lady and she needs electrical help.
You'll
and
pay in
she's
the end.
got, you know, she lives in a caravan or something.
Yeah,
of
you know you do.
course.
You'll do that, and then she'll leave us a 1-star review because she wasn't happy with it.
No, what's great is that Caz
You
takes the
have
phone call and then
permission to go
sends
and-
some poor bugger there and doesn't know what the hell's, and you're like,
And then they
"Oh
end up
my
helping her,
God."
yeah.
You're there for fucking 16 hours of your day.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. That sounds like a bit of a sore spot for you, Sam.
It hasn't happened to me recently.
It's good. No, it's good. Well, we better wrap it up because you got to go to your second job.
I've got to go to my second job now, yes. Yeah.
Your shit job.
Yeah, my shit. Yeah, I hate it. I love this one.
Yeah.
I've never not wanted to come to work here, but
Yeah. Tell everyone.
I love it so much.
Mate, the platter, I haven't stopped looking
It
at
was
it the whole
absolutely
time.
delicious.
realise there was more
Thank
of
you
that
so
cheese in it.
much,
I'm-
Are we
Ash.
gonna put this in the fridge for tomorrow?
No, I'm going to eat it all right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
stay
reckon
here
that's a
for another
Friday.
Oh,
That's
God.
that's a Friday I have a treat tomorrow. that thing.
absolutely.
hour. Oh, it's Friday tomorrow.
Friday tomorrow.
Friday.
Yeah, I'll save that for my next episode tomorrow. Got Grant McGregor on tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Bit of Google SEO stuff, so we're going to
Oh,
be talking
good.
about that for tradies
Bit of
and stuff.
technology.
Yeah, a bit of that, bit of advertising and stuff. So that's good. It was good to have everyone.
We need a song about
It
girls.
doesn't hit the same. No, there's one about girls on here. Hold on, let me see.
Al's dead red.
No.
Wait.
These are all Tomo's.
It's not even my birthday.
This is Tomo's go-tos. Anyway, thanks for listening. If this sounds way better and looks better, this might be the new spot,
Yeah.
and I might go spend a heap of money on podcast gear. Let me know what you think.
Oh, actually, I've got one final shout out to Simon from Ozco. Thank you for constantly helping us out with our Coffs Harbour stuff. You've been a legend to deal with, and
True that.
legend. Thank you, Simon. I know you're listening.
Any other shout-outs? Kaz, do you have any shout-outs? Shout-outs to do?
Just shout outs to 40s PA. Thanks for letting me come on
Which
the show.
one?
I wonder when
Which
they're
one?
coming in.
Which one?
They're all in tomorrow.
They're all in
We'll
tomorrow.
all see them tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time. Let's go.
Bye bye.